Hi guys, welcome to my kitchen. Today I make a spaghetti meatball casserole. Alright, I'm starting out in a pan. I have roughly 2 pounds of ground beef. We're going to make our meatballs. And if you want to make this easier, if you're intimidated or something, just go ahead and get some frozen meatballs. I'm going to start by putting in about a teaspoon of garlic. That's about 2 or 3 cloves worth. And I have an onion here. I'm going to put half of that in our meatballs, and we're going to put the other half in our sauce. And when it comes to making the sauce, guys, if you don't want to make homemade sauce, you can very easily use jarred sauce. Now I'm going to add in 1 egg. And the way this recipe came about is Holly said to me, she says, why don't you make some spaghetti and meatballs this week? So I said, well, how about some spaghetti and meatball casserole? Something different. Now I'm going to put my go-to seasoning in, the McCormick's Himalayan pink salt, black pepper, and garlic. I'm going to put about a tablespoon in. Don't have that, a little salt, a little pepper, and garlic. I'm going to add in a teaspoon of oregano leaves and a teaspoon of Italian seasoning, and I'm going to use some Italian seasoned breadcrumb, about a half a cup. I'm going to get in here and get these all mixed together. Right now that my ground beef all mixed up, we're going to make the meatballs. And I'm going to make my meatballs a hair smaller than a golf ball. I'm going to get them all rolled out. And I have a cookie sheet here with some parchment paper. And I just wanted to mention, guys, I haven't been answering my comments, not because I don't appreciate you guys commenting. I read them all. And please keep commenting. It's just with your channel growing, you get so many comments that sometimes it gets out of hand. But I'm trying my best, and please keep commenting because I really look forward to reading your comments. So I'm going to go ahead and get all these meatballs rolled out. Then I'm going to put them in a 400-degree oven for about 15 minutes. And that's going to do 2 things. That's going to start to cook and brown them up, and it's going to get the excess grease out of the meatballs because we don't want that in our sauce. In that pan that I mixed up the meatballs in, I didn't rinse it out or nothing. We're going to use it to make our sauce, and it's going to be added flavor, a little bit of ground beef in there. I'm going to add in a little bit of olive oil, probably about a tablespoon. And the other half of my onion, I'm going to get it in there. And I'm going to allow this to saute just for a minute so they can start to soften up. We're really not looking to brown them, we just want to soften them up. Alright, now that my onions are starting to soften up, they only went for probably about 2 or 3 minutes. Like I said, we're not looking to fry them. And I turn my heat down to low. I'm going to add another heaping teaspoon of garlic. That's the equivalent of like 2 cloves diced up. I'm just going to stir that around for a second until it starts to wake up some and help season the onions. Alright, now I'm going to add in a can of crushed tomatoes. This here is 28 ounces. Put it all down in there so none goes to waste. I'm going to add in a can of tomato sauce. This here is 15 ounces. And guys, this sauce is really easy to make. It's not hard at all. And I'm going to add a little bit of water to it. I'm going to add a half that can of tomato sauce worth of water in there. Give that a stir. I'm going to turn my heat up to medium-high. And like I said, if you're really not that skilled in the kitchen, you could use jarred sauce. And then frozen meatballs, put in the oven for 20 minutes at 400 until they thaw and they start to heat through. Alright, now I'm going to add some salt to this. I'm going to start with a teaspoon, because we're going to add some of that McCormick's Himalayan pink salt. We don't want to get too much salt in here at once, because you can always add more, but you can't take away. Let me grab a spoon and taste this for salt. Alright. That's good there for now. Now I'm going to take my Himalayan pink salt, garlic, and black pepper. I'm going to put about a tablespoon in. I'm going to put in a tablespoon of Italian seasoning and a tablespoon of oregano. We're using the same seasonings that we used in the meatballs. Alright, give that a stir. I'll taste this for seasoning. And as this heats up and starts to cook, flavors will develop a little better. Give that a taste. Just a little more oregano. About a half a teaspoon of oregano. Half a teaspoon of Italian seasoning. A teaspoon of our McCormick's. And guys, this isn't salty in the least, so I'm not worried about adding any seasonings in. Or the extra salt. And like I said, as this cooks, those spices will release their oils as they heat up. That's good there. Now I'm going to add in some sugar. The sugar is going to balance out the acidity of the tomato, and it's going to help season it. I'm going to go for probably about 3 tablespoons. Give that a stir. Alright, let's give that a taste. Just a little more sugar. About another tablespoon. You want to go gradual and taste as you go, because you want this to taste just right. You get it too sweet, it's going to not be good. If you don't get it sweet enough, it's going to be acidic from the tomato. That's tasting good there, guys. Now I'm going to allow this to simmer for a few minutes till my meatballs get done baking. When my meatballs were done in the oven, I threw them in the sauce and left them continue cooking for about 10 minutes. Now in a 9x13 baking pan, I have a pound of spaghetti I boiled to the instructions to al dente. I'm going to take our sauce and meatballs and dump them in over top of the spaghetti. And guys, this is loaded with meatballs. I'm going to give that a stir to work that sauce down into the spaghetti. And if you use a pan that's not non-stick, put some cooking spray in there so your spaghetti doesn't stick to the bottom. And because it's nice and saucy, this isn't going to be dry when it comes out of the oven. Alright. I'm going to add some shredded mozzarella cheese on top. You don't want to be shy with the cheese. Alright, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to put this back in that 400-degree oven for about 15 to 20 minutes until the cheese melts. This baked for 20 minutes. I took it out and left it rest for 10 minutes. I added a little Italian seasoning to the top. This is ready to go. Let's go ahead and fix up a plate and see what we got. Alright guys, let me get in here and give this a try. I'm going to start with the meatballs. That one bailed off the plate. We'll go for another one. See, they're cooked through. And don't worry about that meatball. It's on the stove. I'll be eating that. Moist. Well seasoned. Really delicious. I'll try some of the spaghetti with a little bit of cheese. It's really delicious, guys. The spaghetti's tender. The sauce is delicious. It's cheesy. That's comfort food at its best right there. Spaghetti and meatball casserole. Thanks for watching and supporting me. And remember, love what you eat and eat what you love.